Welcome everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning from wherever you are joining us this evening. Welcome to the DSN hands-on project-based data visualization. I'm so excited to have you here this evening. Please confirm if you can hear me loud and clear. Hello? Please confirm if you can hear me loud and clear in the chat session. Great. Thank you so much, Robert. Yeah, so in the next few minutes, let's introduce ourselves from wherever we're joining. Let's introduce our names and wherever we're joining from the call. My name is Bukumi, joining from Lagos. Yes, and so good to have everyone here this evening. As we all know, this program is going to be running for 10 weeks, and this is the week 4. Yes, so it's going on steady, and I'm sure we've been having great engagement on the Google Classroom. So if you have not joined the DSN Telegram page, my colleague will be dropping the link on the chat now. And I am also excited to tell you that we already have our facilitator on the call. We have Mr. Olusegun Adelowo, who has been of great. He has been amazing. Mr. Olusegun Adelowo, like we all know, he has been into this. He has been into Power BI for the past 9 years. Mr. Olusegun Adelowo, the analyst at network surveillance at IHS Towers, is going to be taking us again for the next few minutes on this amazing session of how we can use Power BI to do our data visualization. Mr. Olusegun Adelowo, please confirm if you can hear me.
Yes, I can. Good evening.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for joining
for having me.
Evening again. Thank you so much. We are really excited to have you around, and we are also excited that you'll be sharing your knowledge again to us this evening, and we're ready to take everything. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Olusegun Adelowo in the chat session. Mr. Olusegun Adelowo, you have the floor, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. I hope you've been having a good week. Okay. Can someone confirm that I've been heard? Yes.
Hello, sir.
Okay, all right. Thank you. I'm trying to share my screen. Okay. So I'd like to first start with a theory, then we'll move to the practical aspect of today's class. Okay. If you could remember that last week we talked about Power BI having being divided into 3 parts: Power BI desktop, Power BI service, and Power BI mobile apps. So then the Power BI desktop, I told us that that would be more concentrating on Power BI desktop in this tutorial. Then we can develop ourselves further by reading the Power BI service and the Power BI mobile app. Okay, because what you need for this project, it's a Power BI desktop. If you want to collaborate with other people, you can make use of Power BI service, which is not free unless you are attached to a company that subscribes to Power BI service. It's not free. You cannot use your Gmail or your Yahoo Mail to access a Power BI service. You have to have an enterprise email. Okay, like I said last week, I said Power BI desktop is divided into 3 parts. Power BI data transformation. That's what we did with last week. Then the Power BI data modeling. That's what we did this week. Then the next 2 weeks, we'll be dealing with Power BI data visualization, which will be the grand finale of our class. Okay, so Power BI data modeling. You can check my footnotes. So Power BI data modeling comes after data transformation. That is, you can't model after before transforming your data. You have to first work on your data, your rate data that you import into the Power BI. You have to first transform it, then you clean it, you remove missing values and outliers. You have them. They also, then once you have loaded those, once you have transformed the data, you have cleaned and loaded them into Power BI. The next stage is data modeling. You have to model your data. And when we're talking about modeling, it just involves a few things to be done. And one of them is to create a relationship between data that you imported from various sources. Then make sure that those data from these various sources have connection. Because if you don't have connection, there's likelihood that when you are doing your visualization, to throw an error. Okay. Then also, you perform some calculations using DAX. The full meaning of DAX is a data analysis expression. So you have to you can use DAX for calculating a calculated column, calculated table, then calculated the measures. Okay. And lastly, on the introduction, I talk about how you can manage hierarchies. You can have some of your tables will have columns that are depending on the other columns. So there's where the creation of hierarchy comes in. You put the column that is a subset of another column inside that particular column. Okay. Then you can also optimize your model from the modeling part. Optimizing your model means that before you start your visualization, you make sure that maybe you hide some fields or some columns that are not going to be useful in your reporting or visualization, or you hide the entire table. That's what we mean by optimizing model. So I will demonstrate all of this. Okay. So the subsequent slide are just for to buttress what we mean by modeling. Okay, managing data relationship. Okay, in the modeling, like I said, modeling is about creating relationship between the data that you import from different sources, and there are different type of relationships. We have one-to-one, then we have one-to-many. You have many-to-one. Also, you have many-to-many. So I don't want to bore with the theory, so I'm going to demonstrate this one too. Okay. The introduction to DAX. Okay. I'm going to be introduced to that. So how I can use it to calculate a column, how I can use it to calculate for calculated table and calculated measures. Okay. Calculated column, tables, measure. Okay. Then creating and managing hierarchies. I've said this one in the introduction. Okay, so let's just dive straight into the practical aspects. I'm going to stop this and I will share my Power BI app. Okay, so this is my Power BI app. I sent this particular transformation lab solution last week, last 2 weeks rather. But I'm not sure we're able to see it. But I just discovered that when I checked the Google Classroom now, it came in form of a Google Drive. I don't know why. So I'll still look for a way of sharing it. Maybe the GSNT will advise I can share it. Okay. So my assumption was that we have all done the lab that I sent to us, and I've got it to this stage. So, but nevertheless, we'll go ahead, then probably do that much more later. Okay. So once you have loaded your, once you have done with your transformation, you have loaded your data into Power BI. This is the interface you see. You see this interface. Okay, this is what you see. Okay. I think it's just normal. And this is where you can start building your dashboard. Need to collapse this. Okay. So this is what you see after you have loaded your data into the Power BI. And before you start visualization, you have to ensure you have your tables have relationship. You have you model. Let me just use the word model for things I will explain. Because no creation of relationship.
Hello, sir. We can't see your screen. There's only a presentation slide.
You can't hear me?
With the presentation slide you are seeing, not the Power BI screen.
Okay. You say okay, okay. Sorry. Let me unshare that and please go down. Okay, can you see my Power BI app now? Please, someone should confirm.
Yes, we can see it now.
Yes. Oh, okay, good. Okay.
Yes, but we left behind. Can we go back, please?
Sorry? Okay, yes. I'll definitely go back. Okay. I said that, let me come to this, please. Okay, I said that once you have loaded your data into Power BI, this is what your Power BI desktop. This is what you see. You see this interface. This is field. This is canvas where you can start building your dashboard. Okay, but before you do that, there are 3 tabs here. This one, if you put your mouse on it, it shows reports. This one, it shows data. Also, this one shows model. Okay, and let me also say this, that, you know, there are stages in your dashboard creation. You have a transformation, you have modeling, and then a visualization. These are not, what do you call it? It's not a one-way traffic. You can move in between. For instance, maybe you have got it to where you are, when you are already designing your reports, and you notice that there's no connection between 2 tables. You can go back to the model and go and correct that. Or maybe you find out that your date on the particular table, maybe the date there is shown as maybe text, and you want it to be shown as string text. You can go to this table, this data, to show you. Let me click on one of the tables here and click on table for you to see. So to show you that, so you can go back to correct that. So it's not a one-way traffic. It's not that After you are done with your transformation, you are done with your modeling, you are now dashboard creation, that you cannot move back. No, you can go to and fro. You can move front and back. Okay. So I'm going back to the modeling. So if you want to model your data, this is where you come to. Okay, just create on this tab. Okay, so once you create on this tab, you see the different tables represent this, all these tables that you have here: country, population, data, dates, international, location, manufacturers, products, and sales. Okay, so for us to have a better view of this, you can resize, you can adjust this side, or you can decide to collapse it. Okay, so you can also resize this and readjust this table by putting your mouse on each of them and drag. Okay, so then trying to readjust the tables. Okay, so now I have a better view. Also, you can zoom in or zoom in or zoom out. Okay, you can use this slider to zoom in or zoom out. Okay, so after you've done that, you can now start looking at for the relationship between the tables. Already some are auto-created, like this one, between manufacturer and products. There's a relationship that exists. You can see the arrow. You can see the line, straight line. Also, between products and sales, there's another relationship that exists. Okay, so then you can check for other tables. This one is standing alone. This one is standing alone. Country, population is standing alone. Date is standing alone. That doesn't mean they cannot have a relationship with other tables. They can. So we have to check. Those are not auto-created. We have to create them manually. Okay. So, for instance, if I check date table. If you check date table, and sales table, you discover that there's a particular key that is common to them, or column. On the sales table, you have date column. On the data table, you also have date column. So this can be joined together. And how do you do that? It's very simple. Okay, because I'm joining this to this, I want them to stand side by side. Okay, it doesn't have to be, but to make life easy for myself, that's something that I can take this one up. Okay, so now this is how you join sales table and date table via date column. So just click on date column of the sales table and drag it to the date of the date table and leave it. Just release your mouse, it will connect. Okay, I want to try it. Maybe it did not respond.
I want to lower. I want to lower. I want to lower.
Run it again. I don't know why it's not. Let me try it first. Yeah, I think it's coming. I think it's a system that it's not picking up on time.
Hello, Mr. Shegun. Your voice is too low. We can't hear you.
Okay, my voice is too low. Okay, let me bring the mic closer to my mouth. Sorry. Can you hear me louder now?
Yes, better.
Okay. Okay, so we have seen the relationship has been created now. But it is also very possible that relationship that you created. No, I was trying to drag from date colon to date colon. It's possible that while trying to do that manually, it's erroneously connected to another column. So I can do the check here. I will right click here. Just right click on the arrow here and click on properties. It's coming up. Okay. So as you can see that there's an error here. I try to drag. Hello, can you please mute your mic? Okay. I try to drag date column to date column. But erroneously, instead of date to date, it joined country to date. So I can correct that here. What I just do, this is already okay. I'll just click on this particular column. So once you click on this particular column, both of them are checked. Then you click OK. So to give you what you want, you put your mouse here to show you. It will highlight those columns that have been connected. You can see that the date column under the cell is being highlighted. Also, the date column under the date table is also being highlighted. Okay. So let me also check others, see if I have where I can also create a relationship manually. Okay, let me check between country, population, and location. So between country, population, and location, I have country name. Do I have country name here? No. I have population here. Do I have population here? No. I have year here under country population. Do I have it under location? No. So these, they don't have any relationship. Okay. Let me check with location and international. Okay. Under location, I have city column. Do I have city under this international table? No. I have country here. Do I have country here? Yes. I have country here, so I can as well create relationship here. Okay. Let me just do something. Okay. I'm bringing this guy to this place. Okay. So we have country here. We have country here, so we can as well join this. Okay, but there's an this will give us not error, so to say. This will give us many to many. The reason being that if we check country, I have country common to both international table and location table. Also, I have zip common to international table and location table. So this one will give me many to many. I don't want many to many. I want either one to many or many to one or one to one. So this kind of situation, what I can do here is what I said. You can use DAX to create a calculated column such that you match this country and this zip, you match them together, you give a country zip. This one to have country zip. You can now join them. So I don't know whether you are following. Okay, then I'll leave this one.
Sir.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for the response. Okay, so I'll leave this one for now because the reason is that I've worked on this particular data set before. And I know that at the end of the day, I'm going to hide this international table. I will explain why. So I'm going to leave this one for now. So the reason I'm leaving it for now is that it's not that you cannot have a relationship with location or any other tables here, but because I know that eventually I'm going to hide it. I'm going to explain later the reason why I'm hiding it. Okay, I'm not going to make use of this international table in my report. So there's no point expending my energy. Okay, then let's also check. Okay, I've checked between this and this two. They don't have information. Okay, there's another one that I noticed. You have between sales and location table. You have country. Country is also common here between the two tables. Also, shape is also common. Okay. So this one, I'll use these two to demonstrate how you can create calculated column, so that eventually you can use it to join these two tables together. Okay. So I'll come back to that one later, but I want to also explain to us the kind of type of relationship that exists between the tables. Like I said earlier on in the slides. Okay. Like if you check this product table and the manufacturer's table, the kind of relationship that exists here is many to one. And how do you know that? See this star. This star shows, what this star represents is many. And what this one represents is one. So this one is telling you that this product table is having many to one relationship. Okay. Then I'm going to also, because of our time, I'm going to forward the video to you that explain many to one, one to one, one to many relationship. I explain it in detail to us. Okay, it's very simple. If you watch the video, you grab it once. I can assure you that. But because of our time, if I start explaining it, we won't be able to cover a lot of this. Already, our time is ticking away. Okay, then if you also check these products and sales tables, you also find out that from product table you have one to many relationship. Product table has one to many relationship with sales. Then also sales table and date table, it has many to one relationship. Okay. So I'm going to also show us, okay, let me just right click in here to show us something, property. When you are doing modeling, these are the things that you're supposed to pay attention to and make sure that they are properly configured before you move to your design. Okay, you can see that once you right click, you see manufacturer ID matches with manufacturer ID. Okay. So what I also want to show us here is that, so it shows, it said that cardinality, that's the relationship type. It's many to one. Then this cross filtering direction, it can be single, it can be both. Okay, it can be single, it can be both. If you have it as single, I explain. Okay. If you have it as single, what that means is that you can only perform calculations across these products and this is talking. Please hold on. Okay, so you can only perform if you take that cross filter direction. If you select single, as it is, the default to give us is single across all the relationship. So if you leave it as single, what that means is that the product, you can only perform calculations across products and manufacturer's table alone. You can only perform between two of them. Also, between these products and sales table, you can only perform calculation across both of them. Also, between this date and sales. But if you want to, for us to have a flexibility of performing calculation across several tables for the connectivity, you want, for instance, you want to perform calculation with between manufacturer table and sales table, you have to change the cross filter direction to both. Okay, so I'm going to change all of them. Property. Okay, so I change to both. Okay, I apply security filter in both directions. I click OK. You see that the arrow, instead of pointing downwards to point, there will be an arrow pointing downward, and there will be another one pointing upward. Okay, so as you can see, let me also do for this guy. Mind you, let me also say this, that you don't need all this, you may not need with any aspect of what we call it, of when you are trying to build a dashboard, you might not need to go through this modeling aspect if you are dealing with a table from a single source. Maybe you imported the table from Excel or from a CSV file. You don't need this. But once you are dealing with tables from multiple sources, might be from the same sources, you must ensure that they have relationship. Otherwise, you won't be able to build the model with them. Okay. I'll do for this guy too. Okay, so I'm done with this aspect. So the next thing I want to demonstrate is how you can use that. No, I said earlier on that you can use data analysis expression to create relationship between to create a column, a calculated column, or calculated table, and a calculated measures. I'm going to explain these ones too, but let me just demonstrate one of them. How you can use it to calculate a calculated column. Like this guy that have a relationship, but okay, let me just draw something. Let me try and also understand what I was trying to say. That this guy and this guy will give us many-to-many relationship, which I don't want to use. I'm going to drag it. Okay. I don't know why this is taking some time to pick up. Okay, let's just move right so that we can save our time. Already I know that because country, this guy has country, this guy also has country. This table has state zip, this also has zip. So it's going to give us many-to-many, but I don't want many-to-many. I want either many to one or one to many. So I can match these two columns. I can can match a country and zip column under location table. They also country and zip column under sales table. Then can now create a relationship. So how do we do that? So we can go back to data. I go back to data. Okay. So if I go back to data, just come to where you have. Don't forget you are dealing with two tables that want to create a calculated column for. You are dealing with a location table. Once you click on show you, it displays location. Is the column under it. Okay, this is location table. As you can see, I have zip, city, state, region, district, country. So I want to match this guy, column and zip together to create a single column. So how do I do that? I'll go to create a measure, a calculated column. Okay, so just come and click on new column. If you want to create a calculated column, you come here. You want to create, if it's calculated table that I want to create, you click on new table. If it's calculated measure that I want to create, you click on new measure. So the one we want to do now is new column. So I'll click on new column. So once you click on it, to create a blank column. Okay, and see the blank column that was created. The default name is column, and it will show on the field where you can perform your calculations. So this column, I want to change it to, I want to rename it as country zip. Okay. Then I'll start performing my calculations. Okay. So now here we are dealing with, don't forget we are dealing with location table. So what you do, just click on country. Just type country. Automatically, it will suggest to you that you want to pick country under location table. Just click yes. Click on it. Leave a space. You are going to type an ampersand and this guy and the inverted comma. They are using to join two entities together. They're like what do you call it? Program concatenator. When you want to concatenate two strings together, so that's all you use this guy for. So this guy now, this guy is on this is an entity like this. So I want to join it to another entity. So I put a comma. Then this one I also put a column, then the ampersand. Okay. Then I also type zip. It also suggests to me that do I want to pick location for zip? I click OK. Okay, so I'm done with this. So the next thing I'll do is just hit enter on your keyboard. You see this column changing to country zip, and you have a new column created. Okay. So we have a new column as country zip. So I want to do the same thing for the other table that I want to use for, I want to create a relationship with. That's a sales table, you don't forget. You have not forgotten. Sales table, I'll click here. Don't forget, I'm still under data. Sales table. So this table is also coming up. Okay, so this is sales table. The same thing I did for the location table. I want to create a new column here. I click on new column. Or it's still coming up. Okay, so you have a new column created. The same thing you did for the location table to create a calculated column. You do here. So let me allow this one to come up properly. Okay, so I have this guy. Now I can redeem this guy to as country zip. Okay. Country zip. Okay. Okay. Same thing I did for that guy. I click, I type country. For that country, give me a suggestion. Remember, this is sales table. So I click on it. I click on space, percent. So don't forget these guys, whenever you're concatenating two strings, you have to use them. That's one of the that's the operators in that. Okay. Then have a space and okay. Then I also type zip. Report says zip. Okay. So I'm done. So once you are done with your, another thing to note here is that if you are performing a that in this field, if there's an error before you proceed to create, you see this place instead of highlighting giving you the being gray, it will be red. Show you that there's something wrong with your calculation. So you have to go back and check where the error is. Okay. So instead of hitting enter your keyboard, you can as well click on this, what do you call it? This mark. So click on it, or if you want to cancel, click on this X. So I want to create, I will click on this mark. So to create a country, a new column called country zip for me. So once this is done, we go back to the modeling tab. Sorry, this modeling tab. So that we can have the relationship between sales column and location, sales table and location table. Okay. So it's taking a longer time. Sorry, it's also the photo is also coming from my system. It's an official laptop, and I have a lot of official documents that are videos and graphics that I cannot delete. So please let me manage the laptop. Okay. Okay, I have it. So now I'll go back to modeling tab. Okay. Go back to the modeling tab. Okay, so I'm back to the modeling tab. Now you can now see that between location and sales table, you have country zip, that we created. So you can now confidently create the relationship between these two guys using these common parameters. Let's drag this guy here. Okay, you can see we have a relationship now. It was one-to-many relationship. Okay, so one-to-many relationship. I also want to change this guy to the cross filter direction. I want to change it to both instead of single. Okay. Both. Okay. Okay, so having done this, another thing I will show us, the other time I told you that I don't want to make use of this international table because I've worked on this data set before and I know that at the end of the day, I'm going to render this guy useless. So I want to explain why now. Now, remember when we were doing our data transformation, remember we imported data from Access database. We also imported data from a folder. Also, the imported data from the Excel file. You also remember that Access database contains these guys. Access database contains products, location, sales, manufacturer, and date. Then this country population stood alone. It was extracted from an Excel sheet. Then this international, table was extracted from the folder that contains sales from different countries. And I also give us the background that the company has a quarter in the United States of America. They manufacture their own products. Then they also they make sale from their own manufactured products, or they also make sale from their own and for other manufacturers' products. Also, they also have they have branches in some other countries. So their company, their headquarters record their data. They record their data in Access database. So all this from product, manufacturer, location, sales is from they are the tables that are captured under Access database from the headquarters office. Why this guy international was the international office were using comma separated files, and they merged together and put in the folder. Okay, then this country population is also a standalone. It shows the population of the different countries. So the reason why I say I'm not using this guy is that while I was performing my transformation, I had to append, because this international represents sales. If we check the content of this guy, international, check the columns: country, date, product ID, revenue, units, and zip. If we check sales table as well, you see that the same thing is replicated here. You have country, except for the country zip that we just created. We have date, which is also here. We have product ID, which is also here. We have revenue, which is also here. We have units, which is also here. Okay. It's only what you don't have here is zip. So already we have appended, what do you call it? I've appended this guy. Because it's also, this one is telling us sales from their, what do you call, international offices, from their branches. This is sales from the headquarters in the United States of America. So I've appended the sales here so that I can get the revenue that the company is generated from different parts of the country and from their headquarters. So I've already appended this guy to this guy, international sales to sales, the sales in their headquarters. So there's no point using this again. It's going to be a repetition. Okay, so in this case, that will take us to another concept under data modeling, which is called data optimization. Before you also start building your reports, there are some things that are not useful for you. There are some tables that are not going to be useful for you. There are some columns under some tables that will not be useful for you. So what do you do to them? You hide them. You don't delete them. Because if you delete them, it might bring instability in your report. So you hide them. Once you hide them, you can confidently deal with other tables that are useful to perform your, what do you call it, design. Okay, so this guy now, I want to hide this guy. I'm going to hide this guy. So just you see this this icon that shows, that look like hi. So just click on it. Let's double click on it. We double click on it. It's good to mark it X. Okay, you can see that what this shows is that it has not only hidden the table, it has hidden all the columns under the table. So this guy now, for instance, let me come back to what I want to do, but you will not see it there again. You can see that here, you cannot see anything like international here again because I've hidden it. You can see it has disappeared. Okay. So I want to go back and see if I can hide every other stuff here. Okay, let me check the tables one by one. This category, okay, like this this manufacturer ID. The ID will not be useful for me in my what do you call it? In my design. So I can also hide this guy. I'll hide it. I'll hide this guy. Okay. They also under this product table. Product. Also, I have product ID. I can hide this guy too. I'll not be using product ID. Okay, other ones will be useful for me under this. Other columns will be useful. But maybe when you are doing your report, you notice that these other ones that will not be useful. You can always come back and make changes. Under our move to location table. Location, city, country, country zip. Okay, this guy, so I'm going to hide it. You may ask why. Shebi is the one that enables us to create relationship. Yes. He has finished his job after enabling us to create relationship. So the fact that I'm hiding it does not mean that it will remove the relationship. But if you look at the let me go back to table and show you this one because we will check it for example. This one, we are going to make use of this guy in your analysis, in your design. You know, you must separate it. So you can't use it like this. This does not make in USA, 01475. It won't give you any meaningful report. So I'm going to hide countries zip as well. Okay. Like this as well. Like this as well. Okay. I think other ones will be useful. I move to sales table. Country, I add country zip as well. Also write co.id. Co.id. Don't forget, if you are not hiding the entire table, you come to each column and hide. We are hiding the entire table. You create here, then it will hide the entire table. Okay. Then let me move to dates. This month right there. This month ID. And the month number will not be using this. Okay.
You don't do.
Hello. Okay. Then country name. Okay, this guy is to country population. I'm not going to make use of this table. So I'm going to hide the entire table. Click it to hide the entire table. Okay. I think this is how far we can go this evening. The remaining part I'm not able to cover. I'm going to rapidly do a video and send some videos for us to watch on the Google Classroom. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Over to you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Olusegun. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, my pleasure.
Thank you. We are very, very happy. Please, let's appreciate Mr. Olusegun in the chat session. Like I told you that it's going to be a wonderful session, and I can bet it with you. Every second was worth it. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge, sir. We are so grateful for this opportunity. Yeah, so in the next few minutes, I will be entertaining questions. I'll just pick 1 or 3 questions because of our time. So if you have any question, quickly drop it in the chat session so I can so I can pick you for our facilitator. So I'll be scanning through the chat session now to see any question for our facilitator. Okay, questions. As we all know, the engagement continues in the Google Classroom. So what we're doing here, be rest assured that the Google Classroom is always open for engagement. Our facilitator and the DSN team will be on standby to reply to all your questions. If you have anything bothering you, just drop it in the Google Classroom. We are going to give you the appropriate response. Okay. Scanning for questions now. Does the direction of the relationship between tables? Okay. Mr. Olusegun, I think I have one question here from Koenov. So he's asking if the direction of the relationship between tables matter.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So like I explained, the direction of the table, if you leave it as single, you can always perform calculation between the two tables that has been connected. But if you leave it in both directions, you can perform it across several tables. So it matters, but it's not left for you. Like if you are performing, for instance, if we are dealing with data from maybe just two sources, and you might leave your direction as single because you don't have any other table that you want to involve in your calculation. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, I think that answers perfectly. Okay, so I think I have another question here. So someone is asking, what is the main essence of creating relationship aside from margin tables? What is the main essence of creating relationship aside from margin tables?
Okay, the reason why you create relationship for you to be able to reference each of the table. For instance, we are creating a dashboard. Okay, let me mouse over this. We are creating a dashboard, and you want to pick a column from here, from a manufacturer, this manufacturer column. Also want to pick a column from this sales table. You want to pick revenue. There's no way if these two tables, if they don't have relationship as they have here, you'll not be able to design, you'll not be able to visualize them. You'll not be able to create any reports that will have anything common with the tables. So it's very necessary. Once you are not dealing with any one single source of data, it's very important to create relationship.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Okay, so I think we'll just move all other questions to the Google Classroom. So if you have any question, just put it in the Google Classroom. Our facilitator is right there with the DSN team to answer your question. So I've been seeing questions also regarding if the recording of this session will be made available in the Google Classroom. Yes, certainly. The recording session will be posted in the Google Classroom and other learning resources like the data set that we are using. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us this evening. We are really excited to have you around, and special thanks, kudos to Mr. Olusegun for giving us his time this evening again to share his knowledge. Thank you so much, Mr. Olusegun. Okay, so we'll move the engagement now to the Google Classroom. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for having me. Bye-bye.